Founded in 550 BCE, the Persian Empire dominated the area from the Black Sea to Central Asia. Persian homeland was located southwest of modern-day Iran along the Zagros Mountains. From here, the Persians captured various kingdoms in Mesopotamia and spread their influence to Egypt and southern Europe. Three distinct groups of people rose to power in the Persian Empire: the Achaemenids, Parthians, and Sasanians. In 635 AD, Persia came under the influence of Islam after the invading Muslim armies defeated the last Sassanid emperor. Fleeing from Muslim persecution and forced conversions, the Persians, or the followers of Zoroastrianism, reached Zanjan, a coastal region 25 miles south of Daman in the present-day state of Gujarat. According to one account, the local ruler Jaidev Singh Rana allowed the migrants to settle in Zanjan on one condition: the guests must adopt the customs of their hosts. Realizing that rejecting Rana's offer wasn't an option, the Persians or the Parsis adopted the Hindu way of life. Yet, in the confines of their community, the Parsis kept Zoroastrianism alive. In Zanjan, Parsi women began wearing Gujarati-style saris, while the men adopted a traditional Gujarati attire. Before the arrival of the Europeans in India, the Parsis engaged in agriculture and trading, among other occupations. By the end of the 17th century, the Parsis became prominent brokers and shipbuilders through their alliance with the British. In the 19th century, the Parsis became increasingly involved with international trade. They learnt about the British way of life and absorbed many British influences, including Western fashion. In the Bombay High Court, many Parsi barristers appeared in Western outfits. Some Parsi men wore suits with the traditional Parsi headgear. In cities such as Bombay, men wore single-breasted English frock coats or English overcoats instead of the angarkhas or robes. In the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century, Western clothes were more common in the affluent segments of the Parsi community. Most Parsi women continued to wear saris until the early part of the 20th century. Lady Meherbai Tata, the wife of Sir Dorabji Tata, was a tennis player who wore a sari on the tennis court. Traditionally, women wore cholis or low-neck bodices with elbow-length sleeves with the sari. Parsi women covered their heads with headbands of white linen similar to Catholic nuns. Gradually, Parsi women reimagined the sari to show their sophistication and affinity to the British. They retired the headband and the loose drawstring pantaloons worn under the sari. They wore the open end of the sari or the pallu straight over the shoulder rather than placing it diagonally across the chest. Parsi women began wearing Western-style blouses to which they fastened the pallu with European brooches. Silk stockings, high heels, and gloves completed this innovative ensemble. Brightly colored and hand-embroidered, the Parsi saris came from China. Parsi commercial ties with the British and Parsi presence in China made it easier for the Parsis to import Chinese silk. As the story goes, a Parsi trader spotted a richly embroidered textile in Canton and asked a craftsman to embroider 6 yards of silk as a sari for his wife in India. In the early 20th century, Vestinji Barzorji Dabar began importing Parsi saris or garas from Canton to India. The earliest Parsi saris did not have the pallu. The original Parsi sari, called Badi Bhareli, had borders that framed the embroidered portion of the sari. Later, the embroidered sari became known as gara, a word based on gala, which in Gujarati referred to a piece of fabric with an enclosed patterned space. The oldest saris, called dorpat, had smaller widths, making it necessary for two saris to be stitched together to achieve a suitable width. With the advent of the power loom, the saris grew wider. The top of the fabric was left without a border and unembroidered to make it easier to tuck the sari at the waist. Following Indian traditions, Parsi women designed kors or borders to match the inner embroidery. The kors displayed patterns known as China Chini or Chinese figures, Kasab Pakshi or birds, and Murga Patak or roosters and fowl. The less expensive and affordable garas became known as kanda papeta or onions and potatoes, suggesting that these garas were meant for the commoners. Parsi women also created the frontage or the pallu to highlight the design of the sari. The story of the Parsi Saree describes how Parsi women adopted the dominant cultural trends while preserving their traditions. Broadly speaking, the evolution of the Parsi Saree shows us how asymmetrical social and cultural relationships shape innovation and design.